It is time now for Better Money. We often hear that debt in our country is so out of control. So how does someone prepare for retirement while they're still trying to pay off debt? Joel Johnson is a certified financial planner and managing partner with Johnson Brunetti. He is here with some suggestions, and certainly the debt can feel really overwhelming to people.
Yeah, a lot of people get just stuck because they know they need to pay off the debt, but they don't know how, and it's just really not healthy from a mental standpoint to prepare for retirement when you feel like there's no hope.
Right, right. And you're not alone if you're listening to this, because they said the average debt for people between 55 and 64 is $108,000. So, some of that might be so-called good debt, and we're going to talk about that. We want to prioritize, number one, what debt to pay off first. How do you determine which to pay off first?
So I like to start with the small wins. I know some people say, well, take the biggest credit card at the highest interest rate. I personally have seen more success when people take the smallest debt that they can get a quick win. Maybe it's a win in 3 months, and you just get that momentum going, which is so important. Because otherwise,
it feels possible.
It feels possible, and you start paying that biggest debt off first, and it just takes so long to get done with it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And develop a financial plan, number two, that includes paying off debt and saving for retirement while you're still working. So if you have debt, we shouldn't just say, I'm going to take all my money and put it toward the debt and not save for retirement.
Yeah, it's very rare we tell somebody to do that. Most people have some kind of a 401k or maybe a tax-sheltered annuity if they're a teacher that has a match in it. It's important to take advantage of that match. That is free money. So keep saving for retirement, maybe reduce the contribution, but don't stop saving for retirement. Try to strike a balance.
Okay. And then number three, you want to build and maintain an excellent credit score so that you retire with a nice, healthy credit score, which if you're paying off your debt, then you are achieving that.
If you're paying off your debt, it looks better. Try not to play that game where you get a credit card and you roll a balance from one card to the other. That doesn't bode well for your credit score. And try to keep the amount of debt that you have, or the amount of borrowing that you have, the total capacity of your borrowing, down. So maybe when you pay off a credit card, cut it up, close the account. You want to reduce your borrowing because credit agencies get nervous about that.
Okay, and you can retire debt-free, that's the goal, with possibly the exception of a mortgage. So people used to think, oh, I want to get rid of my mortgage, and you don't necessarily think that people have to do that.
You don't have to do it. On paper, it doesn't really hurt you to have a mortgage, because if you take money and pay off a mortgage, you could have used that money maybe for investment and so on. That's not always the case, but definitely pay off all the other debt that's on depreciating assets, things like cars and so on. Try to get rid of that, but it's still a big win if you go into retirement with no debt and a little bit of a mortgage. No big deal.
Okay. So for more information on that, or if maybe you have a personal question about your situation for Joel, you can send it to bettermoneytv.com. So just go to bettermoneytv.com, and right there you're going to see where you can ask a question, and you will answer everyone's personal questions.
We love answering those questions, so send them on in.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Joel.
Thanks, Kara.
That's Better Money.